What's up, everybody? This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman, your host of MrGentleman Like That podcast, and this week's sponsorship is from Newsly. Newsly is a all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android. It picks up web articles about the most trending topics on the web at any given moment and read them to you in a natural human voice. For the first time in ever of the internet, the entire web becomes listenable, all in one place. Browse articles from topic choose, start playing, start scrolling, and start listening. You can follow any topics as you specifically as you like, from sports, science, to Bitcoin, even for the Kardashians. It will find you on the latest article and you read them to you out loud. And they have podcasts as well. Explore trending podcasts from over 50 countries. Our podcast, MrGentleman Like That podcast, is on there as well. Yes, it is. Shout out to Newsly for that. I started using it as my default podcast app. Download and use Newsly for free from www.newsly.me or from the link in the description. Use the promo code MrGentleman that I will also put in the description and receive 1 month free premium subscription. So you already know, y'all, download Newsly now. Check it out. Support them, y'all. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman, your host of MrGentleman Like That podcast, and enjoy the show. You are now listening to MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast Season 7. Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman, 1/4 of the Premier Boys Podcast, your host of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. And welcome to another new episode of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Hope all is well. Episode 131, Season 7, Episode 7. And we have another special guest. He is a friend in the podcast community. He a writer. He make comic books. He is the podcast host of the Geeky Dad After Dark, and the Multiverse Kids. And we're going to talk to him about many things from his life journey, the podcast shows, and many more. This was a really fun episode, and hopefully y'all enjoy it as well. And y'all already know what to do. Sit back, relax, and I'll be right back.
This is Graham,
Sarah,
and Michaela
from the Chime In Podcast.
and you're listening to
MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And at this time for MrGentleman Facts quote of the day. And today's quote of the day is, don't let anybody stop you from being great. And I say this because it's going to be people who want to stop you because you're doing what you have to do. But don't let those negative people stop you from doing what you have to do. Don't let them stop you from getting the lifestyle that you deserve. So don't let nobody stop you from being great. So just go out there and be great. And that is today with the MrGentleman Facts quote of the day. Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman, and I am the host of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. And this commercial break is brought to you by MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. On MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast, we interview many guests about their life journey, pretty much where they come from and where they at now. Also promoting their brands or whatever they're doing at the time they come on the show. We also have the host talk about personal stories about himself and everything that he's been through. And also we have fun conversation about anything music, anything old school, relationships, wrestling, and many more. And y'all can tune in to MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast every Sundays at 12 a.m. We are also on every Thursdays at 12 a.m. for Spin-Off Series Thursdays, where we have all of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast Spin-Off Series all in one day, where we have a conversation about music podcast every first Thursday at 12 a.m. The Old School Show with myself and the Star Ridey Rod every fourth Thursday at 12 a.m. And we have Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B every second and third Thursday at 12 a.m. And y'all can tune in to MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, The Pods, and many more. Or y'all can check it out on the official website of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast, www.realmrgentlemanlifestylepodcast.com, www.realmrgentlemanlifestylepodcast.com. And tune in every Sundays and Thursdays at 12 a.m. for MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in to this commercial break of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Back to your regularly scheduled program. Cheer!
Well, my name is Raphael Moran, and I'm the host of the Geeky Dad Podcast, and you're listening to the MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast.
Yes, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And at this time, I got my special guest. He is a good friend in the podcast community. He is a writer. He makes dope comic books. And he got 3 podcast shows. One is the Geeky Dad Podcast, the Geeky Dad After Dark, and the Multiverse Kids. We got Raphael Moran in the building. Raphael, how you doing?
Thank you for having me on the show again.
Yes, anytime. And this has been a long time coming. Cause I want you on the show for a very long time. I'm happy this finally happened, man.
Yes. You know, it's been like probably what, 2 years now.
Yeah, it definitely has been 2 years.
Yeah.
Hey, you already know I'm a fan of your show. You're a fan of my show, so this could be a dope show. Yeah.
A lot of people probably don't know this, but Ken is pretty knowledgeable little geek there, you know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I actually am. No, I think I'm knowledgeable more when I got older.
Yeah.
But I definitely am. But we gonna start this. We gonna start like, where are you from?
Well, I grew up in Brooklyn. You know, same as you.
Nice.
But you know, I could say my family, we come from Guyana. Yeah.
Oh, that's really dope. I didn't know about the Guyana part, but that's really dope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, how would you describe yourself with 3 words?
Well, I would say I'm a geeky, creative dad.
And what do you like to do at your own time?
Well, you know, I mean, this might sound, you know, kind of cliche, but I actually like doing podcasts. That's the thing I do for fun. And, you know, I get to do it with my kids. So, you know, it's, you know, double the fun.
Yeah, and we're going to talk a lot more about that. But before we get to that, like, let's talk about your life journey. Like, how was you growing up?
Yeah. Well, I mean, growing up, I had my parents were very strict, and they didn't like me reading comic books. They didn't like me watching cartoons. It's always about academics, stuff like that. But I always used to like sneak away and go to the comic book store, hang out there. Those were my people, and I went to college at the School of Visual Arts in Manhattan. Graduated there. Then I did some jobs at MTV. I don't know if you remember a show called Celebrity Deathmatch.
I do. Yes, I do. I really do.
I used to work on the show. We actually used to shoot the show in Manhattan. And a lot of people thought, that the show was made with clay, but it was actually foam a lot of times, the faces were clay, but the bodies and everything were just foam, I used to work on the crowd scenes, they used to have a lot of crowds in those shows. So they had to have a different team to work on that. And after that, I did some, graphic design work, and then I got into like illustrating some comics, independent comics, and finally got a chance to actually create my own comic book series, and I did that. We released a comic called Dream Reavers for a comic book company called Ape Comics. And after that, I got another gig at a different publisher, and we did a different graphic novel called Flea, and another graphic novel I did afterwards for a different company called Technomancer. And I got hired to do like a Whitney Houston comic and a Nick Jonas comic.
Oh wow, that's really dope.
Yeah.
That's really dope. But first thing first, I used to be a fan of Celebrity Deathmatch when I was younger. Like, I used to watch that a lot when I was younger.
Yeah.
And also, we're going to talk more about your comic books, both of your comic books, a little later. But how all that you've been through made you the person that you are today?
I mean, I would say all of that journey that I did made me who I am today. When I took a step back from creating and writing comics because, making comics is easy, but trying to sell a comic is what's hard, because you got to hit the pavement. You got to go to different stores. You got to go to different comic book shops. And a lot of times you spend more time away from home than being at home. And at the time that I did my, I did 3 books that came out within like 2 years of time. And I was doing comic book conventions, I was doing book signings, and the problem became that, my wife just gave birth. She was home alone with the kid. I couldn't do that. So I took a step back and I decided to do basically semi-retire from making comics, and I decided to be a dad full time,
Nice. That's really dope. And I got two, and and just don't be a father. I can't wait to be a father when it's my time soon. So that's really dope. But also, I do got a question to ask you. So, would you do comics today if you had the opportunity?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I'm still working on comics. I just haven't released anything yet. I just want to gather up everything that I can and just release everything at once,
Well, I'm looking forward to that, and we're gonna talk more about your comic books a little later. But now let's talk about the Geeky Dad. So first thing first, what inspired you to start a podcast?
Well, like a lot of people during the pandemic, you're stuck at home, and I had to get that creative juices out somehow. A lot of the publishers that I used to work with went out of business because of the pandemic. So I didn't really have another option to just really, do work with the publishers. So that also, did something to that. And then, I wanted to spend time with my kids, so I thought this was the best way to be creative and spend time with my kids. At the time, I was also doing some online reviewing for different sites, and most of the time when I'm home, it's the same conversations that I'm having with the kids is the same conversation that's on the podcast. So I just decided, let me just record, just the regular conversations that we usually have. And that's how, that's the birth of that show began, really.
Nice. So how is it, doing a podcast show with your kids? How is it?
It's fun. And, the fun thing is I get to share the things I love, like, comic book movies and sci-fi and stuff like that with my kids. And they love it too,
That's really amazing. That's really amazing. And you already know, I'm a fan of your show. I remember when I first heard the Geeky Dad podcast. I remember you hit me up on, Twitter. It was Twitter at the time. And you just told me to look to your show. And I checked it out. I'm like, this is really dope. And I really like the concept and your kids doing the show together. And you also do a show with your wife as well. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. And I became a fan of y'all. And I like the topic that y'all be talking about, the certain shows and stuff like that. So, I'm a fan of your show. So, Raphael, keep doing your thing. And you and the kids, man. Y'all really dope.
Thank you.
And let my audience know, where can they listen to the Geeky Dad podcast?
Well, we're everywhere. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on, Audible. We're on Spotify, Pandora. Anywhere that you can get podcasts, you can find the Geeky Dad podcast.
Okay, nice. So, the Geeky Dad podcast got really successful. You decided to make 2 more shows for the Geeky Dad. We got the Geeky Dad After Dark, what you do with your wife,
mm-hmm.
and you got the Multiverse Kids show. So
yes.
Tell us about those 2 shows.
Well, when I did the Geeky Dad After Dark, it mainly started because I had a couple of guests on, and sometimes the interview went a little too long, and sometimes they got a little R-rated, and I decided, I have a lot of this extra material. Where am I going to release this stuff? So the first, in the beginning, I was just going to release it as like an extra thing, like an after show type of thing. And I decided, what if I got my wife into it, because she's not from America. She didn't grow up in America. And seeing her point of view on certain things would be interesting, Yeah. And plus, we can talk about the things that we can't talk about with the kids.
Yeah, true, yeah.
Yeah. And that's how that started. And then when we did the other spinoff, the Multiverse Kids show, it was mainly because the kids wanted their own show. They wanted to be the star. I mean, they think they're the star of the show. They're not really the star of the show. But, yeah, so, and they wanted to talk about the things that they liked most, which was like video games and cartoons. So, that's how we did that show. Just to please them. Really.
Nice. Yeah. I had to say that, all the shows are killing it. All shows went to #1. And y'all killing them right now. So shout out to the Geek Dad universe, the multiverse. Y'all doing amazing things right now. Y'all taking over. I gotta say, y'all taking over.
Yeah, we started talking about multiverse before Marvel.
Yeah, I believe y'all did. I believe that. I believe that for real. I really do believe that. So, as a podcaster, what has been the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge, I gotta say, is I would say that finding a consistent audience. You know, there's some episodes where I can get like hundreds of listens, and then there's some where I get like 50, and I can't really gauge why that is.
Yeah.
You ever get that problem, Ken?
I do all the time. Like some episode that I don't feel like it's good be like one of my best episodes, and episodes that I do.
I don't understand it.
It'd be like it'd be weird.
Yeah. So it's sometimes I try to replicate what happens in those episodes, and then it doesn't really happen. Just random episodes just get big for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree, and that's also.
I wish there was like a formula.
I wish it was too, because that's also one of my problems as well. Like basically, the consistent audience is one of my problems as well. So I feel you on that. I feel you on that 100%.
Yeah. And finding a good sponsor is also hard. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I need to. I haven't had a sponsor other than on Newsly for a very long time. So yeah, I agree with you on that too.
Yeah, I mean, we got lucky. We recently got like contacted by Nintendo, and they've been giving us some free stuff. Just because somebody at Nintendo was listening and decided, let's give these guys a shot.
Oh no, that's dope. I wish Nintendo sponsored me. That's really dope. Especially as a Nintendo fan, that would be really dope for me.
Kids were very excited.
Yeah.
We got a couple of free stuff.
Oh, that's nice. So, what is the goal for your show? And when people listen to your show, what do you want the message for your audience?
Well, I would say this show is not really made. I don't make this show for an audience, really. I make this show for me and my family, because I feel as if this show is kind of like it's like a stamp on my life that I can look back on when I'm old, or when my kids are old, and they can always look up the show and be like, hey, that's us as kids, or one day maybe our my great grandkids might look it up online or something, and they'll listen to this old man who used to be young with
Yeah, like you want to leave a legacy.
Yeah, just something that they can listen to when when we're all gone.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, I like that idea. That. So, I know you already had like many guests on your shows already. So what are your dream guests? You can name three.
Oh, if I could get any guests right now?
Yeah, any guest. Yes.
I'll probably if I can get James Gunn on the show, that would be good.
That's a good choice.
Something like that.
Who else would you bring?
Probably the actress that plays Miss Marvel, because my daughter really loves that show, and she really loves the actress, so that would be good for her.
Nice.
For me, if I could, it's a little too late now because Stanley's dead. But if I could have got Stanley on my show, that would have been great.
That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing. So, as you mentioned at the beginning of the show, you're a writer, you make comic books. And you say you had two comic books, Dream Reaver and The Flea. Tell us about those two comic books and what it's about. Well,
Dream Reavers was basically, when I pitched it, it was basically X-Men meets Freddy Krueger. I don't know if you remember the movie Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors.
Yeah. I rewatched that last year. Yeah,
okay. And in that movie, a bunch of kids that in their dreams, they can control the dreams and they can use the dreams as weapons, against Freddy. Yeah. And that's basically what the plot of the comic is. These kids are born with these abilities where they can harness the power of dreams and nightmares and use it as weapons against this evil entity. But there's a little twist at the end. I don't want to give it away. Yeah.
And what about the Flea?
Flea was basically, as I pitched it, as Ant-Man meets Star Wars. What if aliens came to the Earth, but they were the size of a flea? And what if there was a big war happening in your backyard and you had no idea that was going on? So that's basically the story there.
Nice. And I just want to say thank you for, giving me a copy of the Flea and Dream Reaver. I definitely saw the design so far. It looked really dope. So I can't wait to read it. So as any of my audience want to buy your comic book, where can they get them?
It used to be on Comixology, but I hear Comixology is going away. I think Amazon is gonna merge it into something else. You can probably still buy it on Amazon right now. You can buy a hard copy, or you can buy a digital version on Amazon.
Okay, nice. I'm gonna leave it in the link in my show notes, so my audience could check it out.
Thank you.
Anytime, bro. Anytime. So as you know, we've been dealing with this for a while. I think we're still dealing with it, the pandemic. So my question to ask you is, how did the pandemic affect you, and what do you learn from it?
Well, I did catch COVID once, so there was that. But the COVID didn't affect me too much in terms of getting sick. I didn't feel like I was getting sick that bad. But I will say, if it wasn't for COVID, I probably would not have started this podcast. So there's that.
Yeah, and also I did got COVID as well. Yeah, not the best feeling. But let's just carry on.
Yeah.
So what is your dream venture? Something that you always want to do?
I mean, in my dream would be if I can get maybe Hollywood to make a movie based on something I created. That would be the dream.
That's a good dream, actually.
And also, since I started the podcasting thing, I wish I can get 1 million listeners, but I don't know if that's possible.
Raphael, anything possible. Trust me, anything possible. I would want the same thing too. Trust me.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. I believe that could happen. I believe that could happen for y'all. So, what other project that you got going on that you have not mentioned yet?
Well, right now we're trying to move into YouTube, videos, and try to do some video podcasting. I got a couple of other comic books I'm working on right now. Maybe a sequel to Flea or a sequel to Dream Reavers. I'm working on a superhero comic right now and a children's book.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So hopefully that could come out soon.
That would be dope. I like that. I like that idea. You need to drop that for real.
Yep.
And what do you have to say for anybody to go send out at you? Say something inspirational, for podcasts, comic book, anything.
Well, I would say don't give up. If people tell you, you're not going to make anything out of it, forget what they say. Do it for fun, or just do it, just so you can do it, Yes,
I agree. And I always use that same advice to everybody, too, to never give up. So, yeah, I agree with you on that. But, Raphael, before you go, we're going to play a segment game. And the segment game is called 5 Random Topics. But since, you are my podcast friend, I'm gonna give you 10 random topics, and we'll call this the Geeky Dad version of 10 random topics.
All right, let's go.
Well, I'll get actually 10 topics, and you let me know how you feel about it. I will join in on this as well.
Mm-hmm.
And are you ready?
Yep.
And a lot of the topics you mentioned on your show. So there you go. I saw the first one. You talk about this movie on your show like recently.
Mm-hmm.
What are your top 5 favorite Ninja Turtle movies?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like the original movie. Yeah, the original one, and then I would say I would put that number 1, just because of nostalgia sake, and I did like the New Mutant Mayhem. I did, and I liked the TMNT movie that came out a while back. You know, the one where they were like all retired and they went separate ways, you know. And I would say the Michael Bay ones are after that.
Okay, nice. I know for me, number 1 for me would be the first one, of course. First Jim Henson one.
Yeah.
Number 2, I like Secret of the Ooze.
Oh yeah.
I like Secret of the
Ninja
Ooze.
Rap.
Yeah, Ninja Rap and the Vanilla Ice.
You know, they had a little bit of that in the new movie.
Yeah, oh yeah, they did. Also, number 3 is the Mutant Mayhem. I actually liked it. The new one too. That was a good one. Number 4, it was a cartoon movie. It was that the Turtle in Time when all the turtles came together. I like that. That
was on my list too. Yeah.
Turtle in Time, yeah. And the last one, I must say the 2007 one.
Yeah.
I liked that one, yeah, that one too. I remember on your show you mentioned that they had one with Ninja Turtle versus Batman.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I heard about that. I gotta check that one out. Cause I never saw that one yet.
Yeah, it was good. It's like you got Shredder teaming up with Ra's al Ghul and the Joker and Harley Quinn, and also like the Penguin's in it. You know, pretty sick.
That does sound dope. I definitely gotta check that one out now.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got about that one for real. All right, so my next question is your favorite Marvel and DC hero.
Okay. My favorite DC hero happens to be Nightwing. Yeah. And my favorite Marvel hero is it changes, you know. It used to be Wolverine, it used to be Punisher, it used to be Spidey, you know. So it's all those 3. It keeps changing. Nice. Depending on my mood.
I think I agree with you on that too. I know for Marvel, for me, it changed as well. It's between Spidey, the Hulk, and Black Panther. It's my 3 for Marvel. And for DC,
I mean, Marvel has some good ones, you know.
It does. It really does. And for DC, it's always stayed the same. It's Superman for me for DC.
Yeah, Superman also is good.
Yeah. What is your favorite horror franchise?
Horror franchise?
Yes. Yeah.
I like the Evil Dead movies.
That's an instant choice.
Yeah.
I know me. I got Chucky. Always been my favorite.
Yeah, Chucky used to be good, but you know the last couple of ones were kind of weird.
Yeah, I agree. The last couple of movies were weird, but then the show when they have the show
is good. Yeah. I didn't like the remake though.
Nah, me either. I didn't like it like that either. And next thing I got your favorite anime and manga.
Well, I like Dragon Ball. Yeah.
Nice. I agree with you on that. Dragon Ball is my favorite as well, and also I just got into One Piece.
I really need to get into One Piece. I keep hearing that it's so good. I got to check it out. But it's so many episodes, though.
It is. I got a story to tell about One Piece. I know for a very long time, since it came out in 1989, I did not like One Piece. I did not want to get into it at all. But then one day, I know the Netflix had the live action came out. So I started getting curious. I watched the live action, but I didn't understand it at all. So I decided to watch the anime, and then ever since then, I've been really a fan of it now.
Okay. Oh, One Punch Man. Have you checked that out?
Yes, I did. I did watch One Punch Man. That's another one I like too.
Yeah,
that's another one I like.
Attack on Titan.
I haven't. I've been wanting to watch it, but I have not fully got into it yet. I know that just ended recently, but but I definitely gotta watch that as well. Yeah. But one thing, One Piece do got a lot of episodes. I'm like on 700 now, and I still got a lot to go. So like,
it's gonna take a while.
Yeah, because I started in September. Now it's in November. I'm on 700. So yeah.
Oh man.
So, what is your favorite Netflix series?
I really liked Lost in Space because the kids and I used to watch that together.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I know for me, I got two favorite shows on Netflix: Stranger Things
also. Yeah, but I can't really watch that with the kids too much sometimes.
Yeah. And Cobra Kai in my second.
Cobra Kai, yeah. That was definitely one of my favorites, but it started out as a YouTube.
Yeah, that's
I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, I did thought of that's true. They did thought of YouTube, but I can't wait for both of them last season coming out. So yeah. All right, what is your favorite streaming service?
Well, I would say Netflix is probably the best you can get right now because there's literally like something new every day.
Yeah, that's true. I would say Netflix as well, but Hulu been growing on me a little bit more now.
Yeah, well, now that I actually got the bundle, so that actually works out better for me. Yeah. So now you got Disney Plus and Hulu together.
Yeah, I had that. Yeah, I got that bundle too. I had that since last year. I still got it now. So, yeah. All right, what is your favorite old school cartoon?
Oh, Thundercats.
Nice. That's a good choice.
Yeah.
That's a good choice. For me, I got many options. You
used to like G.I. Joe also.
Well, G.I. Joe, that's a good choice as well. Transformers for me. Yogi Bear.
Well, if you think about G.I. Joe was one of the first cartoons that actually had like a diverse characters in it.
Wow.
You had the black character, you had the Chinese characters, and I don't think any other show had that.
Wow.
At the time.
I haven't watched G.I. Joe in a very long time.
Yeah.
I used to watch that as a kid as well, but I have watched it in a very long time. Now I'm gonna have to watch it again now.
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't aged well. Most of those shows in the 80s didn't age well.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, who are your favorite out of these two? Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse?
I would say Bugs.
I know growing up I was a fan of both of them, but I might have to say Bugs as well.
Yeah.
Bugs as well.
Bugs was more like, he was like he's the kind of guy that you can hang out with.
Yeah.
And Mickey seems like he's too whipped. Can't do nothing without Minnie saying something.
That's true. But I mean, growing up, I was a fan of both of them. So I was a fan of both of them.
Yeah.
Right. Which one is your favorite video game franchise? Super Mario Brothers or The Legend of Zelda?
Oh, I gotta go with Zelda. For me, it's Zelda.
No, this is hard because I'm a fan of both of them. I grew up with both of them. I may have to agree with Zelda as well, though. Zelda been having a better video game for the last couple of years. I still gotta get Tears of the Kingdom, but I've been playing every Zelda game ever since. So I've always been a fan of Zelda growing up. And now that, especially now that they announced the movie, I can't wait for that too. So.
Oh man, hopefully they don't screw that up.
I agree.
Yeah.
And the last one is, what's the last movie that you saw in movie theaters?
In movie theaters, let's see. I think it was Mission Impossible, the latest one.
Oh wow! I know for me, well, pretty recent. I mean, I just saw the Marvels over the weekend, so I saw the Marvels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to go into the movie theaters these days, especially if you have like a whole big family. So,
yeah.
You know, by the time I go, it's like $100.
Yeah, that's true, man. Movie theater changed, and where you get to watch it at home these days.
Yeah. Most of these Marvel movies, I skip the movie theaters because it comes out, you know, on Disney Plus like a couple of months later.
Yeah, I agree with that. But you know, my sister had tickets, so I just went.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not gonna say nothing about the movie, but I mean, it wasn't. I guess mixed feelings about it. But yeah, but Raphael, thank you for coming to the show. You know, always good to talk to you, and thank you for coming on. And I'm looking forward to coming on your show pretty soon as well.
Yes, we gotta work on that. Yes,
we know that's definitely gonna happen. And like I said, y'all are killing on everything that you're doing. Continue with the Geeky Dad podcast, After Dark, and the Multiverse Kids show. And looking forward to seeing more comic books from you.
Yeah, thank you. And I gotta say one thing. You know, I had ran a contest on my show, and you know, I thought that the question was going to be very hard for a lot of people, but you got it. You were the winner.
Yeah, it was hard, but I had to listen to the show every day, and it sounded familiar. So he said, I sounded familiar. I'm like, why does the phrase sound familiar? And then I guess let me put this in and see what happened, and I got the answer right. So I was actually pretty shocked I got it right.
You got it your first try. That was good.
Yeah. But Raphael, drop everything that you doing, your social media, and where everybody can listen to the podcast show, all the podcast shows.
Yeah. Check us out. You know, we've been a little bit sporadic lately because, you know, school just started and, you know, the wife, you know, is still kind of recovering. So we haven't been doing like as many episodes as we used to. We used to come up with like maybe 2 episodes a week between the 2 shows, sometimes 3 episodes a week. Now we're like kind of like, you know, once every week now, you know, between the 3 shows. So you can find us everywhere. We're on I guess we can't call it Twitter anymore. We can call it X, right?
I do call it Twitter.
I don't know. I don't think I can get used to calling it X.
Me either.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at the Geeky Dad podcast. You know, I'm on Facebook. You know, I'm everywhere.
Yes, and check out his show. Look out for his comic book. Let them know where they can get your comic books again.
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon right now. Okay, Dream Reavers, Flea, Technomancer. Just type in my name, Raphael Moran. You'll see everything comes up, and you'll probably see my podcast come up as well.
Yes, there you go. And thank you again, Raphael, for coming on the show. And we'll be right back. Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka MrGentleman. Now, I am the host of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast, and this commercial break is brought to you by MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast presents Spinoff Series Thursdays. And Spinoff Series Thursday is the new home for MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast Spinoff Series. That brought to you shows like A Conversation About Music Podcast, The Old School Show, and Date Night Talk Podcast. And A Conversation About Music Podcast is a music spin-off series where we talk about anything music, from the current music scene and the old school music scene. where we interview many guests that's in the music industry and artists about their music journey. We have a segment game called The Face Off, which is a versus inspired game. And we have roundtable discussion about variety of music topics. And y'all can check out a conversation about music podcast every first Thursday at 12 a.m. Every first Thursday at 12 a.m. Now, the old school show that featured myself and the star Roddy Rod is a show where we discuss anything old school, from music, TV shows, movies, and many more. We also bring in guests to join in on the old school conversation. Y'all can check out the old school show with myself and the star Roddy Rod every fourth Thursday at 12 a.m. Every fourth Thursday at 12 a.m. And last but not least, we have Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B, where we talk about anything relationship related topics like love, dating, relationships, cheating, the good and the bad, and many more. And y'all can check out this spin-off series, Date Night Talk Podcast, every second and third Thursday at 12 p.m. So look out for MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast Presents Spin-off Series Thursday, a conversation about music podcast every first Thursday. The old school show with myself and the star Roddy Rod every fourth Thursdays, and Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B every second and third Thursdays. And y'all can check out MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast every Sundays for the main series and every Thursday for spin-off series Thursdays. And thank y'all for checking out this commercial break. And now back to your regularly scheduled program. True. I just want to take the time to thank everybody for tuning in to the latest episode of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Thank you to my special guest, Raphael, from the Geeky Dad Podcast, the Geeky Dad After Dark, and the Multiverse Kids for coming on the show. It was definitely a fun time having you on the show, and we have a very fun conversation, and I'm looking forward to bring you back for a feature episode of MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. And check out all of his podcast shows, the Geeky Dad After Dark, the Geeky Dad Podcast, and the Multiverse Kids on all podcast platforms. And also buy his comic books on Amazon right now. Y'all already know where I'm at every week with the MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast every Sundays for the main series and every Thursdays for spin-off series Thursdays, where we feature shows like The Conversation About Music Podcast every first Thursday at 12 p.m. Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B every second and third Thursday at 12 p.m. and the Old School Show with myself and the star Roddy Rod every fourth Thursday at 12 p.m. You can check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Pods, and many more. You can rate the show 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, and Podchasers. The more y'all rate the show, the more people know about MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast. If you want me to guest on MrGentleman Lifestyle Podcast for the main series or any other spin-off series Thursday shows, you can send us a bio about yourself and everything that you do to my email, kenYPGENT@gmail.com, or hit me up on social media, Ken_MrGentleman. I repeat, Ken, Ken, underscore Mr. MrGentleman, GentleMan, and we can set something up because I am still looking for guests for Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. You could also check me out on the Premier Boys Podcast with myself, Aaron Keto Sands, the Star Rider Rod, and Long Live the Chief Monty Mal. Season 4 of the Premier Boys Podcast, January 24th, 2024. New season of the Premier Boys Podcast, January 24th, 2024. And yeah, check us out. Check out other shows from the Premier Podverse. King Talk with Aaron Sands, hosted by Aaron Sands, every Friday at 12 p.m. Star Time Podcast, hosted by the Star Rider Ride, every Monday at 12 p.m. And Welcome to the Trilogy, hosted by Long Live the Chief Monty Mal, coming soon. Check out and support all shows from the Premier Podverse right now. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. We got 3 different shows, and y'all know y'all will enjoy it. So check out all the shows from the Premier Podverse. At this time, it's time for everybody's favorite new segment, Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Shoutouts, where I shout out 4 to 5 shows, and we give them their flowers. And at this time, we're going to check out the first show, What I Had Heard Was podcast, hosted by Jennifer and Lisa, and they talk about a variety of topics. And I like this combo together because they make good episodes together. So check out What I Had Heard podcast. The next show that I'm gonna shout out is the Zaya Show. As y'all know, I shout out his show last season, and he been on my show last season, and he do got a new season 7 coming real soon. He about to go in on this season, so look out for the new season of the Zaya Show coming soon. The next show that I'm gonna talk about is Back to Reality podcast, hosted by 2 sisters, and they talk about variety topics from their careers, relationships, and many more. This is a really dope show. Check it out. And the last show that I'm gonna talk about is CQP Moments, hosted by the Coupon Queen Pen. You know, she's been on my show before. She talk about variety topics and many tips about, coupons and stuff like that. And she have many guests. I've been on her show plenty of times. And yeah, this is an amazing show. And shout out to her. She just made 5-year anniversary doing the show. So shout out to the Coupon Queen Pen. And check out the 4 shows that I just mentioned. What I Had Heard Was podcast, the Zaya Show, Back to Reality, and CQP Moments. And that is this week with the Gentleman Lifestyle Shoutouts. And everybody, I know Good Pods can with the Gentleman. Y'all already know Good Pod came to many independent podcasters. You can see what everybody listens to. We can rate each other's shows, and we have the charts. At this time, the time for Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Achievements, where we spotlight everything Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast is doing. And of course, we got the Good Pod charts. And during this time, we are number 8 on the top 100 shows normal charts, and number 5 on the indie charts. For Society and Culture, we are number 1, and we've been number 1 for 11 days. And yeah, and let's continue to listen and support Mr. Gentleman like the podcast on Good Pods, and support Mr. Gentleman like the podcast on all podcast platforms. Whatever your favorite podcast platform, check it out on there. And of course, check out the official Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast website, www.realmrgentlemanlikethatpodcast.com, where y'all can listen to every episode of Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast. You can watch every video of Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast from the audio version for the Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast TV, which we're going to add some more new content for Mr. Gentleman Like That Podcast TV. So look out for it in 2024. Also, the Gentleman Facts Quote of the Day, and many more. Also, check out every guest profile who been on Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast. We have 64 guests now that been on Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast. Raphael profile will be added on the website, so check that out. Check out every guest appearance that I've been on. And many more coming real soon. To check out every guest appearance that I've been on. It's over 30 at this point, which is wild to me because y'all know I'm a shy guy. But yeah. And also buy some merch from the Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast merch store at tpublic.com, or y'all can buy it through the website and search on TeePublic with the Gentleman Like the Podcast store, and y'all can check out all the merch there. We have new merch coming soon, and yeah, check out the official with the Gentleman Like the Podcast merch store at tpublic.com, or just get it through the official Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast website. And support Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast by checking out the website www.realmrgentlemanlikethepodcast.com. And once again, thank y'all for tuning into the latest episode of Mr. Gentleman Like the Podcast. Spin-off series Thursdays. We'll be back the third Thursdays of December. And of course, we got a new episode next week. Have a good day or night, wherever you're listening to this episode.
My name is John Hoppy from the Wrestling Fans Insight Podcast, and you are now listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast.